overview, and then we'll have Samantha join us from the Wiki Education Foundation to talk about some resources. I'll speak for a couple minutes about our efforts on campus, and then we'll have Carla Romney talk about using it in class, and then followed by Harold. We're going to try and leave the bulk of the time open for discussion and Q&A. So joining us via WebEx is Samantha Weald.
Well, thanks everybody for coming today. I'm going to share my screen, so let me know if you have any problems seeing my slides. I am Samantha. Nice to meet you. I am in California, working from home today. And I work for a really small nonprofit called Wiki Education, and we basically support instructors who run these projects in their courses. Both Carla and Harold have participated, other instructors, hundreds of instructors across the US and Canada. We are located in San Francisco, but we do have a partially remote team, and everything we provide is free and open source to you to use. So working with us on a Wikipedia assignment is easy enough, I would say, other than just having to think about what kind of assignment you would replace in your course. Our main kind of project is what Carla and Harold are going to talk to you about today, is this idea that students will actually update or create a Wikipedia article on a course topic as part of a research project in your class. And so we kind of are here to support you throughout the whole process. We support you and your students as they learn Wikipedia's policies and guidelines, as they kind of learn how to evaluate Wikipedia, thinking about analyzing the sources that exist, trying to figure out, well, what is the mechanisms behind the scenes that make an encyclopedia like Wikipedia work, and then helping them actually learn how to evaluate the content gaps in your field and identify an area that is missing updated research, that might have an article that's misleading, and then actually working to improve that content. But in case you're not an instructor, we actually do run a few other programs. So our classroom program is our biggest one. You can learn more at any time by visiting teach.wikiedu.org if you want to take that note. Our classroom program is our biggest program. We support this spring, for example. We're supporting 7,000 students in 400 courses across the US and Canada who are updating Wikipedia articles. But in case you yourself aren't teaching or you don't have the capacity right now, we also have a couple other programs. Wikipedia Fellows is where we actually work with subject matter experts like yourselves to train them to contribute to Wikipedia. So we're doing a cohort model where you can join a cohort and learn to participate, a couple hours a week, time commitment. We're helping structure the training sessions for you just like we do with students, but we're a little bit more hands-on with the fellows. And we're asking that you improve at least 1 or 2 articles in your field so that you can really learn how the mechanisms of Wikipedia work. And you can learn more if you'd like to learn more about the Fellows program at fellows.wikiedu.org, which is pretty exciting. And basically the way that we're kind of thinking about all of our programs is how can we help improve Wikipedia, but also help improve the way that the public accesses information. And a couple of the really fun initiatives that we've been running the last couple of years is our 2016 Year of Science. It was originally a year-long initiative that we've now expanded into a multi-year Communicating Science initiative, working with students to help improve their science literacy, but also helping to identify areas where the public is looking to Wikipedia to gain science information and making sure that they're comprehensive and well-researched. We also have a new initiative that we just launched this year, which is our Future of Facts initiative. It's another multi-year initiative where we're trying to help facilitate and inform citizenry. So thinking about what articles the public comes to Wikipedia to learn about politics and environmental issues, and making sure that all of those articles are as well referenced and as easy to consume for a lay audience as possible. And basically, we're here to support you every step of the way. So we provide you with the Wikipedia expertise. You, as the instructor, are not, expected to know everything in the whole world about Wikipedia. We're here to kind of know some of that for you and to help you be able to teach your course content in a way that is hopefully really fun for you and your students. We provide a whole suite of online tools, basically through our dashboard, which is our kind of course management software that we've built. This provides trainings for students and our fellows, the possibility to track the page views that your students have received on their work and the content that they've added. And then we also provide instructional design consultations, so helping you think, well, how would I implement a project like this into my class? What assignment do I have to give up? Or how am I going to adapt an existing research project? That's my job to help you do that. And then along with our online resources and our staff resources, we also provide print resources. So if your students are working in psychology, like Harold's students are, we have specific trainings for working in psychology. We have specific print resources for how does working in Wikipedia differ if I'm thinking about psychology versus if I'm writing an article about a species, if I'm thinking about biology, if I'm thinking about women's studies, for example. And that's pretty much us. There's a whole bunch more I could tell you, but I wanted to keep it really brief today. So feel free to shoot me an email. Please sign in so I can follow up with all of you at the end of the day. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear about Carla and Harold's experiences, the good and the bad, and to hopefully be able to brainstorm with me ways that you can implement this project in your class. Like I said, we've been running these assignments for over five or 7 years now. So we have a lot of expertise we can provide. So that's us, yeah.
Thanks, Samantha.
You're welcome.
So my name is Kristen. For those of you that don't know me, I work with Faculty Technology Services. I'm usually down here at the center. This semester in the summer, I'm actually going to be working remotely and coming to campus once a week. But if you want to get in touch with me, I'm available by email, GChat, video chat, and my colleague Lindsay is also down here at the center. If you're up at Rose Hill, we can be found in Keating, the basement of Keating, and we also have an office in the main building at Westchester. I just want to tell you a little bit about the other resources that are available to you. In addition to the Wiki Edu group, we have a group on campus. It's mostly faculty and staff, but we're looking to get student involvement. So if you have any students that are interested in outreach and support for Wikipedia, send them our way. We generally meet about once a month to plan events on campus and also help provide support to faculty as well. Our resources can be found online. Our wikis are actually in the process of moving, but I put this link up here, and you will always find a link to our page here as well. Please make sure you've signed in with your email so I can send these links and slides out to you after the session. I'll also mention, in addition to Wiki Edu and the Fordham group on campus, there's the New York City Wikipedia group, and we have a couple of people with us today. We have Richard. Yeah. They also help provide outreach and support. You want to say a couple words?
I'm Richard Nipel. I'm from the Wikimedia New York City group, which is the local nonprofit supporting Wiki activities in New York City and the metropolitan area. We help support universities, museums, libraries, community groups that want to work on different Wikipedia areas, whether it's helping with their class or helping where we have like an event we call an edit-a-thon, where we'll come together and improve an unknown topic, say within science or Asian American literature or all sorts of maybe talk about history of New York City. We welcome you if you want to join any of our events. We have a pretty full calendar. So for example, this evening we have a salon where people can talk about the different Wikipedia projects. On Sunday we have an event related to Asian American literature where it might be good experience to get started editing Wikipedia if you'd like to join that and write about some authors that you're interested in. And on the Sunday after that there's an event on women in science as part of the World Science Festival. And you're welcome to join any or all of our events and activities. I also work at the Met as the Wikimedia residence here, helping support their images and the content online.
It's Wikipedia New York, is that the main?
It's called Wikimedia. New York City.
Wikimedia, yeah, okay.
We have a mailing list and things like that.
I also just want to build a little bit on what Samantha was saying in terms of some of the benefits to our students and frame it as in terms of our Jesuit identity. Rather than writing a paper that may promptly get thrown in the trash or piled in a drawer somewhere or on the computer, Wikipedia gives opportunity to contribute to the largest knowledge base on the planet. And so when it comes to service learning and meta-learning for others, this connection, I think, is a no-brainer. And as a Jesuit institution, we're also very familiar with inspiring our students to be agents of change and fight for social justice. So the access to information being a human right, basic human right, and Wikipedia should reflect diversity in the full spectrum of the human knowledge. Writing for Wikipedia also challenges students into analyzing and interpreting information for fairness, accuracy, and reliability. It gives students the skills to question unreliable information rather than just passively accept it. It's an opportunity for our students to increase their digital literacy skills. I think Ignatius would improve. Just to give you guys some numbers, and I'm going to turn it over to Harold and Carla. The impact since 2010, and this is just the Wiki Edu courses that we're tracking here. We obviously have no really way of knowing if faculty are using Wikipedia out on their own. But they've tracked 2,000 courses that this has been used in since 2010. So it's a fairly significant number. This is a list of some of the active campaigns sorted by topic or school, area, or association. And I'm just briefly going through these. You'll have a copy of these to look in more depth afterwards. And then I teased out some of the numbers and made it a little visual. On the left side, you have the numbers according to courses and students, sorted by academic year. Fall and spring are there. And then I kind of zeroed in on the right side, just looking at the fall, which is the blue color, and the spring, this current semester in the pink. So lots of numbers, big impact. And then to give you an idea of what the dashboards look like, I pulled out some of the schools at the top, so you get a sense of where Fordham falls on the spectrum. We had 6 courses. We've had 6 courses here. There's actually a couple more than that associated with specific campaigns. And down on the bottom, we have a look at the dashboard for the New York and New Jersey schools as a whole. And just to look a little bit closer at these 6 courses, 2 of them I've pulled out because they either didn't finish the training or didn't decide to fully deploy it in the classroom. But we've had Carla, Harold, and Barbara and Rosemary weren't able to attend this session, but they've also used it in the courses. So this is the top 10 articles, just to get a sense of what students are writing about and how many characters they've added and used. And this is top 10 according to the views. And just to point out, I think it's very remarkable, and Carla will talk a little bit more about this, the impact that it has outside of the classes, because there's students that clearly have gone above and beyond and have not only maintained their own pages, but they also start on and edit other articles. So I think this kind of leads into Carla's talk. I'm going to load your slides for you.
Okay, thanks. And do you pull up my page too?
Yep.
Okay. So, first of all, thank you to Kristen, to everybody involved with today for making this a reality. And Samantha, it's great to see you virtually, so we're glad you're with us as well. So I implemented this Wikipedia project in Math 1203, which is a core class in for both Gabelli and Rose Hill students. It's also a common course taken in the community that I live in, which is the STEM and pre-health community. It's also a common course taken by biology majors since it satisfies their math requirement and sort of double counts for students who need some sort of math course in calculus for some of the pre-health admissions requirements. So when I teach this, and every time I do it, I have a split group of Gabelli students who sit on one side, Rose Hill FCRH students who sit on the other. Never the twain shall meet. Typically because it's sophomores from Gabelli, so they are already cohorted, they have their friends in social groups, and sometimes the Rose Hill students are more individual, they sign up individually. So one of the challenges for me in teaching this class, in fact, is bringing the groups together. So in fall 2016, as I do every year, on the Tuesday before classes start, IT runs the new faculty orientation. Is that the right name for it? Okay. And Samantha, in the fall of 2016, made her first, as far as I know, the first presentation about this Wikipedia project and Wiki Edu. So it's Tuesday. My class was going to meet on Wednesday morning. This is absolutely true. And I heard Samantha's talk, and I went home, and I said, you know what? I could do that. And I revised myself to visit my actual syllabus from that semester. And I put it in, so literally, I changed the syllabus that had been uploaded, and I just added the project on mostly on the left side, and I know it's a little small for some of you to see, but I put in project due date on the last day of class, and 3 other project milestones where the students had to complete the modules that Samantha referred to that Wiki Edu provides to train students in how to critically evaluate content, how to actually edit and upload materials, how to format mathematics, which for me was obviously going to be a big challenge for them to actually learn how to do this, and understanding what makes credible sources of data. Okay, now this is a math class, and it's called Applied Calculus. I'm sure you can imagine as a core class and as a math class that the attitude of many of the students walking into this class was like, really, do I need to be here? And what's the least amount of work that I can possibly do to get out of here with a grade that is at least respectable? And it was a big piece for me to let go of giving a final exam, but I actually put this project in as 20% of the course grade in lieu of a final. And I'll call your attention to the reason that this project was so compelling to me. And that is that my structure for this class had always had the second exam the Monday before Thanksgiving, and then the Monday after Thanksgiving, it's always Monday, Thursday. The Monday after Thanksgiving I devote to going through that exam, and then basically I have 3 more classes to decide to do something with. And so I use it, and have traditionally used it as a dovetail into Calculus 2 material to start to sow the seeds for what comes next. And a little bit of final exam review. But I realized that could be jettisoned pretty easily. And replaced, instead of focusing on a final exam review, we do the same content, and then I just turn the last day, instead of final exam review day, it would be the presentations of all of the projects that students had done. So that was how I incorporated it, just to kind of give you a little bit of background. Everything else about my class basically stayed the same, so I didn't change content. I used one of my evening office hours where we all got together and edited pages together so that we had a little bit of community building around that as well. And I was interested in feedback about this. It was a pilot. I didn't know what I was going to get. And I knew that the SEEKs were not going to really give me the kind of feedback that was targeted enough to understand the impact of this project. In the class, what did students get out of it? And so as part of the project requirement, I required them to write a reflection paper that was identified by name so I could give them credit. But then I also gave out on the last day of class a survey to the students to say it was about everything about the course, because there were videos, there were a lot of other technology pieces in this course. But there were several questions specific to the Wikipedia project. And I just want to highlight a couple of the comments made by students, because the impact, it really transformed my class. Comments like it showed real-life application of applied calculus. It's not just calculus in sitting down doing problems, but I could actually put it to use in the real world, right? They found it helpful. It was calculus outside of a textbook. Whoops, that was wrong there, sorry. Any suggestions on how to improve it? So a couple of interesting comments about adding a little more structure to it, which I would definitely take to heart next time. So as I said, I had those 3 major check-in points built in a little bit of class time. I would probably do it about every other week instead of just 3 check-in points with a little bit more in-class time devoted to it. And for Samantha's vantage point, I left it open-ended and let students pick something that was interesting. One student obviously wanted some feedback from Wiki Edu about things that they might be interested in having edited. And certainly we could collaborate at this point now with the New York groups to get some feedback on what would be interesting math science topics where students could contribute. I also asked them, would you prefer a conventional final? And there were a number of students who made comments like this first one. At first I thought I would have preferred the final. But now, having done it, I got a lot more out of it. And many students picked up on what I had honestly thought for a long time, which was that the last exam, that exam number 2, happened so close to when the final was that there wasn't going to be anything new really on the final. So I wasn't really giving up anything. I call your attention to the second to last comment. This made calculus fun. Wait, it gets worse. So again, I don't expect you to read these, but it was so hard for me. These are the actual comments from their reflection papers. And I just want to highlight, this project was really awesome, right? And this was a student in the second one who edited a page about a female mathematician because that was part of the Year of Science project that was going on. They were looking to get some of those pages updated. And I'm excited. Wait a minute, calculus? Exciting? Learning things that were not part of the course? I mean, we barely touched on integrals and partial differential equations. And these students actually went there and went ahead in the book to learn things on their own. And they came in and said, can you help me understand how to do partial differential equations? Like, wait a minute, why? So for me, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed working on it, right? I love, again, the quote at the end here. It doesn't really align with our men and women for others idea, but, the best part was bragging to my family and friends after I published my work about how my name is on Wikipedia. And their pages are still there. I like doing the project because it allowed me to think of calculus in a way other than pen and paper. It makes calculus, oh my God, there's that word again, exciting. Right? Since we can apply it to our everyday lives, it makes the math click inside my head. And so for me, it was such a liberating and transformative experience to actually see students who honestly walked into this class dreading it, and dreading every minute of an 8:30 Monday, Thursday class. Coming to the last day, and their materials, and I don't have time to share them with you now, but maybe if you want to see it afterwards, I'm happy to share them. They did projects, just to give you an idea, they edited the sabermetrics page. So sabermetrics, for those of you who don't know, is the mathematical analysis of baseball. So they analyzed and put up pages on related rates problems about looking at pitching and stolen bases, and they actually found the literature to support how you can apply calculus to the sabermetrics and posted data there. Another student so that was a Gabelli student, to give credit where credit's due. Another student who's an environmental science major, looked at population growth and realized that on the population pages there was no data on the logistic model for population growth, which is all calculus based. And she went and learned about it on her own and actually derived the equation on her own, then found the literature to support it, put it up, and now the logistic model's up on the population pages. Other students did epidemiological disease modeling and looked at the rates of disease and rates of change, and so found the literature to back it up, popped the pages up in Wikipedia, and a lot of that's up there. It's all there now. That's almost 2 years later. So the students really, and they've maintained their pages. I mean, it's really, as Kristen was saying, it's been a really experience in my hands. And so I'm happy to take questions later about that. And if anybody's interested in thinking about doing it in your own classes, I'm happy to be a resource to support you in thinking through how to do it and to take some of the feedback from my students as a guide to encourage you to do so. So with that, I'll turn it over to Harold so you can hear his side of the story.
Does Carla's passion show or what?
Yeah.
You mean her class? Let me ask you 3 quick questions. We want to have time for discussion. How many of you are Wikipedians who've actually contributed to Wikipedia? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a minority of us. Second question, how many of you have done Wikipedia in a classroom, perhaps working with Samantha? That's 3 of us. And how many of you are interested in integrating Wikipedia into a classroom? So it's not a majority, but it's about almost half of us. For my part, let me skip over much of this because it's we want to save time for discussion. I would say, in principle, Wikipedia is fabulous. The concept of having free, universal knowledge across nations, multilingual, and it very much fits into the Jesuit tradition that we talk about, even if we don't always do it. Did I go too fast? Yeah. In practice, I think that Wikipedia needs more work, as we'll look at. The third thing is my own Fordham experience. I'm glad Carla's on the panel because my experience has been mixed. No reflection on Samantha or others at Wikipedia, but I had a really miserable experience with Wikipedia. And the fourth is 2 suggestions I have. As far as Wikipedia, skip over this. As far as Wikipedia at Fordham, I went to Richard's 15th anniversary, and the fact is Wikipedia has marvelous people. In fact, let me backtrack a bit. I put the names on there. In the USA, Helene Blumenthal, Samantha are great, Ian, Patricia Brooks. In New York City, Richard has this wonderful group, they're very supportive. Lane Raspberry was the fellow that we initially invited on March 10th to speak here at Fordham. We did it deliberately after a faculty council meeting so that faculty would stay. At that session, there were 0 faculty and 7 librarians. Fortunately, the librarians, including David here and others, carried on, and they established a very lively Wikipedia presence here at Fordham. And we had several events, including one where Kristen and Lane collaborated, and we invited psychologists in the New York area to come. That was just a very lively session. In my own case, I wanted to integrate Wikipedia into a class. I do a survey the first day, yes, maybe, no. The undergraduate class voted no. They didn't want to hear about Wikipedia. But the graduate class, maybe. Let's try it and see how it works. So we had 26 students in the graduate class. As I'm speaking, let me pass around this sheet. If you'd like to put your name and email on it. And this September in the UN, I'm putting together a forum that will talk about the value of Wikipedia. And if you'd like to know about this forum, it's free and it's here in Manhattan. Just put your name and email on it, and I'll send you not only, I think Kristen's going to send you our presentations, but I'll send you information about what else is happening because the UN loves Wikipedia, the idea of its advantages. In my personal case, when I integrated into my social psych class, the students wound up writing, we had a list of 26 social psychologists from 11 different universities whose names were not in Wikipedia. And the nature of Wikipedia is that we want to increase the coverage, particularly of women, but men as well, and the Wikipedia. And these 26 students, I would say, did an excellent job. Every one of them was good, and some were really excellent. And the result was 26 biographies of leading psychologists who did not appear in Wikipedia. I'll pass that around, you can take a look at it. However, students had to complete several tutorials in order to put their material in the sandbox, in order to mount it into Wikipedia, and only 2 of the 26 students wanted to do that. I don't fault them because these are working people, they're parents, they're full-time workers, they're completing their doctorates in the evening. They're paying tuition, and I'm not the one to force them to take a Wikipedia tutorial that they may never use in their future life, especially since Wikipedia does have a couple of foibles. It's anonymous, and it uses secondary sources, which is, we tell our students not to do that. The bottom line is that the biographies were there, but loading them into Wikipedia was a different problem. I invited 2 Wikipedians to class who kindly came and helped the students, and one of them, a very good-hearted person, I don't want to mention a name, but a very good-hearted person said, I'll help you put these up on the Wikipedia because I know how to do it. And so at the end of the semester, we had 26 excellent biographies, and one by one, this man kindly transformed the biography into the Wikipedia format, which is a very specific format, and he put them up in Wikipedia. And Samantha was helpful all along the way. I should make that clear. What I say is not a positive experience. It's not just that the students struggle with it, and in fact, in the course evaluations, they said they thought it was a bad idea. We shouldn't use Wikipedia in the future, which is very different than Carla's experience. We can figure out why later on, but it's important for us to try to figure out why that is. But the things that happened afterwards really troubled me. One is that these Wikipedia entries were removed. They were removed without any knowledge of mine. One by one they went up. Joe Ponderato and Bro Keitel. Let me just say that why they were removed remains unclear to me to this day. Not only they were removed, but one of them had a nasty note on it. I'm glad you can't read what it says there, because it says this entry, this is a very respected professor at Fordham, this entry may have been compensated, and therefore it violates Wikipedia policy. Well, what are you talking about? What are you accusing somebody of? My own Wikipedia entry was removed, even though it wasn't part of the class. I've been on Wikipedia for a few years, and the student told me, I don't see your entry there anymore. It was removed. No explanation. Who am I going to talk to about this? It really is quite unfair. And most psychologists are leaned to the left. But there was one psychologist in the group that leaned to the right, and there was an effort to remove that psychologist's biography, citing the fact that he was like a right-wing guy. Hey, what is that about? The bottom line with Wikipedia, and I would suggest these 2 things, and then we could figure out where to go from there. One is that Wikipedia should have some kind of client advocate, or somebody representative. I can't tell Samantha about these things because this is not her job. She's a very positive person. I agree with her. We want to get more people involved in Wikipedia. But the fact is that Wikipedia is anonymous. I don't know what happened or why it happened, and I don't know why people, including myself, were removed from the Wikipedia. I do know that, well, let me just leave it till later if it comes up. The second thing is I do think it's a good idea for students to be told in advance if Wikipedia is part of the course. Because some students were really enthusiastic, like Carla's students. They want to be involved in something that goes beyond the course, but others don't. If Wikipedia wants to raise an army of professors and students who would contribute to the future of the global encyclopedia, it might be good to label those courses in advance, and that way students who are volunteers will get involved, and we wouldn't have the problem of forcing students to do things they're not interested in doing. In closing, I would say I'm a big fan of Wikipedia. I look for, oh, that's a nice slide. I'm a big fan of Wikipedia. I hope to promote it in September. Maybe some of you folks would be interested in speaking there if you have experiences at the United Nations, the Committee on Education, Literacy, and Learning. But I think Wikipedia needs more work, and if you're thinking of adopting Wikipedia, please consider my experience when you do that. Thank you.